All right, well, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we have a new list that we're going to be working on. We're going to be working on Anakin Colossus. So this is Thorrk's new list. So there'll be a link to his channel and a video with an in-depth deck tech on this particular build. This build takes advantage of the Colossus, which is 35 health. Draw one less card in the starting hand. Has a number of draw mechanisms: C3PO, C3PO, Yoda, Red Squadron X-Wing, and Steeler Guerrera. And then has a heavy sideboard that's teched against control. So the main board is for aggression, for fast decks, and for mid-range. And the board is for the control. So let's see if we can get into some best of threes. And if you want more in-depth deck tech on this, check out Thorrk's channel, which I'll link in the description below. All right, jumping on. We've got Thorrk's Anakin Blue. Let's go into a Cad Bane Tarkentown. And let's see what we can face against there. All right. So we don't have a first turn play. We want to prioritize getting at least something. Yoda, we either want a first turn play or a removal straight away. So neither of that meets it. So we can just mulligan that. All right, 3PO is good. Cassian will go to the row. And then it's a question of, we only have one Rivals 4 in the deck. Or do we keep Luke? I'm not that scared about Cad. So let's resource the Rivals 4. Okay, we can afford to pass here. We have 10. He has to be the aggressor. The danger with passing is that he may have a Bazine. So let's see what he's going to do. So our deck is at least just under about a third, but let's say about a quarter is the 3-drops. So a choice here is, do we play C3PO, get it Tarkentowned, get that out of the way, or do we pass? I think we pass. Let's try and make him the aggressor. If he gets rid of 3PO with the Bazine, then I can just swap. We'll draw another card anyway. Alright, so he's played a Starhopper and a Restored Arc. So we missed out on the draw there. We pass. Okay, so we've got a Restored Arc there. I think we just get rid of that and we wait. Hopefully draw something with 3PO. So Zuckuss is a bit of a pain. I think we have to hit up into it here. So he did play now there are 2 of them. So 3. No, a 4th throw. So if we grab a Yoda or something like that, we're in good shape, but not at the moment. So we use the open fire on Zuckuss. We've now got a takedown and 2 4th throws. So I think we're going to have to resource a 4th throw, unfortunately, and rely on the takedown here. All right, let's have the Starhopper hit in. So this is the first time playing Anakin Blue. I've never played it before. I've played plenty of red-blue decks, but I've never played Anakin outside of Limited. Very good Limited leader in the last set. All right, so Bazine, expect him to take Luke out. We have to also remember we have a Andor in the row for next turn. Let's see what he takes out. Is it going to be a 4th throw? Is it going to be Luke? Or is he just going to leave it? Okay, he decided to take the Luke. Which means we can just... Let's take down the Starhopper. Let's take the damage now. We haven't had any of our card draw. Now, don't forget, Smuggle in itself is card draw. So, even though we've got Cassian, if I play a card out of my Smuggle row, it's the same as drawing an extra card. All right, get rid of the arc. So we have got a Yoda into a force throw here. So let's drop the R2 first. Let's see what he plays. Village Protectors. It's okay, but let's hope to try and get something like an Obi-Wan. Because we're kind of expecting here. Yep, so he's going to play Greedo. Kind of expecting something to ambush in or like a 4-lom. And that he might be waiting on that there. So I'll play Yoda. Let's see if we can get done by a 4-lom. Hopefully not, because then we can play force throw. All right, we'll force throw our opponent. It's a waylay. Let's get rid of the Greedo. He'll flip a card, and let's see if he does 2 damage. And there is our 4-lom. Why did he not play that when I first... Okay, that is odd. All right. So, get rid of the R2. So our choices here is if we play Anakin and he has Zuckuss, kind of get blown out a little bit. We've already killed one Zuckuss, but if he has another, it's a 7/7 ambush and we lose our leader. So I think we go with the Obi-Wan here. If it gets killed by the Zuckuss, it gets killed. All right, now we can deploy Anakin and benefit from... Well, no, not benefit from the Obi-Wan coming out. So do we kill the 4-lom here? It also means our Anakin would die then to Cad Bane. If we hit the Cad Bane, we take 2. And then he can still kill us with the rest of it. So not a good situation. All right, let's claim. We have got a Yoda here, and we have got an Andor coming in. The Yoda does give us that little draw that we need, but we are quite behind now. That Relentless Pursuit and us not having a Rivals 4 really set us back. And if he plays a Cad Bane here, we are in real trouble. All right, let's claim. Does he have the Cad Bane? He's got 2 cards in his hand. Yeah, of course. So this has been unfortunate for us. Yeah, we're really in trouble here. So we can heal a little bit, but we don't want to heal right down to... so if 5 damage on it leaves us with 4. That's okay, so 6. Yeah, we really need some way to get rid of Cad Bane or either one here. It's not a good situation. We did not get our removal. Did not get our card draw either. Like, I think playing this deck, we're meant to get a lot more card draw. Let's pass. He has a McClunky here. It's bad again. Yep. Not good. This game's pretty much over unless we can get some removal. No, that's it. All right. Well, we are 0-1 with Anakin. Either the deck is no good or I am a bad player with Anakin. All right, looks like we've got a best of 3. Let's jump down there. Turn the score on. It is a Quinlan, so expect to lose a lot of our hand. So we do have 3 card draws here. So 3PO, Yoda, and Stealer. So let's keep those. Because the way we get beaten is if we get stripped of our hand. All right, let's play 3PO. We're going to draw something for once. Yes, we drew a Cassian. Okay. Let's resource the Cassian. Hotshot Blaster. Okay, that's fine for us. I think we just daring raid that. And that way, if he plays a Kira or something next, he's got a choice between Yoda or Steeler. Either's okay for us. Okay, waiting on him to go. Still stuck at the daring raid. All right. So he could have a Kira next or a Ahsoka, which would discard a card from if it's an Ahsoka. We'll see what we draw next turn. We want to ideally keep all those three cards so that we've got some more card draw. Force throw is obviously very good. Nothing yet. We might have lost him after that one daring raid. Yeah, we might have lost him. So what have we played? So we lost our 3PO, played a daring raid. In the row is a Cassian, Obi-Wan, and daring raid. Looking back at the list, yeah, we can see we got 3 Cassians for the smuggle here. And then plenty of card draw and then a governor as well to sort of call out plays. It's not a bad deck against Quinlan, I think. All right, we are finished that one. Sometimes this button hasn't been working recently, so let me just go back to the front. Update the score, we'll count that. Our opponent finished early. All right, so there's another Cad Bane Tarkin Town. Do we go for revenge? I don't know if it's the same guy or not. So we kind of got we have to prioritize some of our removal. That's not good enough, that hand. Okay, so we've got Andor definitely goes. Let's keep the rivals for this time. Last time we got blown out by the opponent when he hit us with the relentless pursuit. All right, let's get rid of the arc. Now the question is do we just sacrifice R2 or do we sacrifice 3PO or do we simply just pass? I think we just pass. We don't want to lose our first turn unit. And if he claims, then we can just do R2 in a 3PO next turn. All right, so that's not too bad for us. Let's play a 3PO and call a 3. And we get a draw. So remember, this deck here has got 15 cost resource 3 cards. So calling out 3 blind is okay. Right, what do we lose here? I think we lose the R2. All right, let's hit into his burrito, call out 3 again, hit a regional governor. He'll flip. I think we made a mistake there. I think maybe I should have played Yoda first because now he gets a free kill on 3PO without doing the Tarkin Tower. So that was definitely a mistake. I should have played 3PO first. Yoda first before doing the attack. Okay, what do we keep here? Do we keep the governor or do we keep the amplifier? I think we keep all our removal. If he somehow hits into Boba Fett, we can just play open fire. We have got Cassian in the row for next turn. All right, what happens? He just attacked into base. I think we can just take down here. I'm gonna play a. All right, so let's just hit into base. We're gonna lose this unit to Tarkintown. All right, now we just claim. Yep, draw a card. All right, so we can. Our options are an open fire into the Guavian and then play 3PO. Or option is steal a Guerrera. I think we've got enough sort of removal for now. Let's draw a card off the antagonizer. Got a bounty to draw a card. And then let's play our 3PO out. 3. Now, in this match, I don't want to mess up like I did in the last match where I lost to the Cad Bane unit and Cad Bane leader. All right, let's claim. So I want to keep Efel the Dragon out for us. All right, I think I just have to flip Anakin and kind of sacrifice him here. He has got a boss scout, which, you know, when you play an event can do an extra 2 damage. See what he plays. The longer the game goes, the more we're favoured. All right, so he's going to throw out the Bosk. An extra 2. So I think we just play the Village Protectors here. And protect Anakin. Make him having like another McClunky or something. We have got the rivals for his Cad Bane leader. All right, let's see what he's going to do. All right, so Zuckuss has Saboteur, so we have to be careful with that play. So let's just claim. We can fell the dragon, the Zuckuss. He's crafty, will hit in there and hit the shield. There we go. All right. Unfortunately, they're covering the wing. Unfortunately, we're just out on a few of these. So if Anakin hits, we can... If we had like 4 more damage on the base... I think we hit into Zuckuss. We can Daring Raid and then hit Cad Bane with the Rivals Fall. All right, let's Daring Raid Zuckuss. He's likely got a Cad Bane in his hand. So I want to kind of just not... I could have like played Luke or something, but I didn't want him to get something baited out that quick. All right, let's claim. All right, so we can... Let's get rid of covering the wing. We can take down the Bosk here. And then we can play the Red Squadron X-Wing to draw a card. And let's see if he boss now. All right, let's claim. No, he's very low to the ground. That was unexpected. Right, so we look potentially for the Guavian, the draw a card, and then force throw. He's only got one card now. I think we just force go regardless there. Okay, it's a full on. Yeah, so regardless, it's not looking good for us here. Need kind of like a redemption. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. We'll do it, I think. So we hit in Greedo. We are 7 health away. Yeah, we have to need a big force throw. Take out the Ruthless. 6 or more. No, does not do it. All right. Okay, so that makes it 1, 2. Not doing too well with this deck. It's not. I don't know if it's my playstyle, this deck. All right, let's try the Chirrut. Yeah, it's either I'm playing it wrong or, yeah, not my playstyle. Didn't have much more luck with Ray than this, which is odd because it's, you know, in theory it should work. But we have lost the 2 Cad Banes, which is maybe an issue. All right, let's just the R2 and get rid of that. We'll keep the Obi-Wan for that resource 6 turn. 3, no. Okay, pass. Now we have another R2. Maybe we keep it this time. We're going to keep the takedown for Chirrut's flip turn. All right. Bean's Masterpiece. All right, let's keep that on top. Or we can always use another takedown. Let's say 4. All right, we'll take that and pass. Okay, so now we have 2 takedowns. A Daring Raid. All right, what do we got? Luke Skywalker on the ground. Okay. Well, I think we just attack with R2 into Luke. Got a Governor, so now we can call out 2 with C-3PO. I think we can take down that now. And call out 2. We pass. This is where we keep the takedown specifically for the Chirrut flip. The Governor. Right, he's going to run something into us. What is it? It's Ray. Going to run into 3PO. All right, so we can just hit into base. We'll put that on bottom. All right, he claims initiative. Well, this kind of messed us up. So he's got 6 health left. She's got 6, can't do that. And he'll force throw. All right, let's just pass. We can bring Anakin out, who will be a 5/7. Okay, Jedi lightsaber. All right, let's hit into base. See where he hits with Rey. See if we can get some damage on our base. Right. Well, I don't know if I need to do anything here. If I play Village Protectors, doesn't really, just Rey kills it and doesn't do anything. Then he won't be able to flip that anyway. Let's just play an Obi-Wan. It's going to take 2 damage off. The 3PO will get an extra 3. Could really use our Rival's Fall. Alright. The 2 experience to R2. Boy. Right, Perilous. Alright, we'll claim. I think we just play R2 here. It'd be nice if we could force throw to kill the Rey, but we can't. So let's just play the Obi-Wan out and try and get some XP on Anakin. Alright, it's going to play... Alright, let's just force throw the opponent. When she attacks, she can heal 2 damage from a unit, which is herself. Chirrut is now out. Alright, let's see what they do. Another lightsaber. Right, they're going to hit Obi-Wan. Alright, well, let's see. Either one's got a hit. And then another. Kanan. Alright. Opponent's thinking about what to do here. Okay, now we're hitting in. We give the XP to Anakin, which will then give us some a new card. Maybe we hit in a Kanan. We'll have 3 health life left, so the Chirrut just won't be able to wipe us out. So let's take out that one. Next turn we can, even if Chirrut hits, it would take 3 back. And then next turn we can R2 using Anakin's ability back into Chirrut. And then we would Luke the Rey. Alright, let's claim. Alright, daring raid's good. And force throw is good. Let's in new cards. All right, let's hit into Chirrut. Let's keep the force throw on top. See if Chirrut heals by the end of the turn. We've got Ray there to potentially do some healing. All right, let's Luke Ray. And then Chirrut. Let's see if Chirrut beats Luke up. We do have a takedown next turn. Even like he needs something like a midnight repairs. All right, still waiting. Our opponent. I don't see why you would not clear Luke out. He will take fall back beyond 10 damage on a 8 health leader, so you'd have to heal at least 3. All right, General's Blade. All right, now we just force throw him. Gonna be that level of greed. Okay. Could have just hit Luke and then played the Force Blade, the General's Blade after. I think that would have been the correct way to do that. All right, I just claim Chirrut should die. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. All right, let's start. I think we've got Cassian. Yeah, so let's do Yoda and Cassian with a force throw. Okay, let's force throw him now. Right. And we just do Cassian over the top. We get to draw a card, but we seem to be firmly in control now. All right. Still think Yoda's probably my favorite deck at the moment. Ray's pretty good, but yeah, I think out of all of them, Yoda's probably the most interesting gameplay. Even on this deck, I kind of feel like they play out very like the games play out the same. All right, it's going to boost the health up there. What can I do? Another Cassian, or I can't take down anymore. I can play the open fire, so let's just pop a Cassian out. Once he claims, we'll put 3 damage on Ray, and then the Ray will die at the regroup phase. Yeah, he's passed. All right, still waiting. Okay, covert strength. Just played that to heal up. Not much we can do about it. So we could do 3 damage. Take it to 5. All right, let's just hit in a base. All right, Crate Dragon's really good, so we'll drop the Crate Dragon now, and he'll have to deal with that. Or we can take down if Ray's in range. But if Ray attacks, we're going to see 2 healed. Get rid of the arc. All right, we're going to get ambushed in. All right, I think we just trade up with Ray first. And then we just drop the Crate Dragon in next. We're daring raid and then Crate Dragon should be enough then. All right. Okay, well, we'll just drop a Crate Dragon. Can he handle it? If he claims, we'll also daring raid the blue leader so that it dies at the end of the regroup phase. Claimed 2 on that and then pass. I'll start holidays tomorrow for a period of 10 days, so I should be able to get some more gameplay in, practice for the upcoming Onyx event that is in Canberra, the Anzac Day long weekend, so not this weekend, the weekend after. Last time it was a 56 player tournament, one of the biggest ones in Australia at the time. This was during set 2, the biggest one that we'd had so far. And I was successful in that tournament, taking it out with Ray Tarkentown. So that's what I'm thinking. Can I return with Ray Tarkentown, or do I take something like Yoda Data Vault down? And then it gets onto which variant of Yoda Data Vault. Am I going to play Endless Legion one, or am I going to play the more value one with the 3 home ones and that in it? So this guy's just quit once he sees the Crate Dragon, which a lot of people do once they see it. All right, so we're 2-2, 50% win rate. Let's see what we can do now. All right. Let's go for the Quinlan. No, Yoda Blue. I have no idea. Nope. Obi Green. Nope. We go Gar Yellow. All right. This will be a fairly aggressive deck. Do we have what it takes to slow down the aggression? I've got plenty of removal, but we'll see. All right. So yeah, some big tournaments coming up. Onyx is the first one on in about 8-9 days. It goes over 2 days. And all right, well, hang on, we'll just think we keep this hand. We've got Restored Arc into X-Wing, and then we keep the Luke, right? We won't mulligan. We can just go Arc and go heavy space. Yeah, so Onyx is in about 8 or 9 days. It goes over 2 days. The first day will be about 5 or 6 rounds. That's what it was, 6 rounds last time. And then they played the top cut on the subsequent day. If you don't make the top cut, they will have a Padawan event, which has the commons and uncommons only. All right, Rivals 4 we kind of need to keep for the big Gar Saxon, I think. Or we can, yeah, I think we get rid of the open fire here. Draw a card. Okay, Regional Governor. And then following that weekend, we have the Planetary Qualifier and the Baddest Batch XK. That's 2 separate tournaments over 2 days in Sydney. So that'll be on May 3rd and May 4th. And then the following weekend after that is the Canberra Planetary Qualifier. So it'll be 3 big weekends in a row. I want to pick a deck that I'll be super comfortable with. We're going to play the Governor and 3PO on this one, so we'll get rid of the Fell. something that I can, play for long amounts of time. I played a lot of Iron Blue last set, and the set before, and the set before that. So, and I think I may go back to Iron Green at some point. I want to explore where that's at now. Now that the meta, now that we've got bases like Colossus that allow us to sort of take a few more risks and build it a bit more on the back end. So that's why I went Ida Blue before, because it was really difficult to get to that sort of later half of the game where that Ida Green really excelled in set one. So that's why I pivoted to just straight Ida Blue. All right, let's play a Governor down. What do we call here? What are those commandos would be bad for us? The Desperate Commando, Super Commando Squad would be quite bad for us here. This thing about moving the upgrades around is annoying. He goes, oh no. I don't know if that means sarcastic or not, but we'll see. All right, so he's only done 6 damage to us so far. All right, no good to me dead. Yeah, okay, we're okay with that. So let's just take down the shuttle. Yeah, so even at the end of last set, I played Iden Yellow in one of the PQs. That was okay, but Iden Blue, I think, was the much stronger option. Let's clear this out. We can use Anakin's ability to kill Kranich. All right, attack. Let's call a 3. No. Stealer. All right, so we're going to go in the next turn. Our X-Wing will be incapacitated for another turn, thanks to the no good to me dead. I think we need Stealer at this point. It's not one of those games where we need super extra, like card draw. We've already got 3PO. Hopefully drawing some cards for us. So there are a lot of choices of decent decks to take to PQs in these tournaments. Yeah, it just has to be a combination of picking the right deck and then getting the right pathway through the Swiss rounds. All right, we just rival the Gar here. Okay, so now he's got the stolen AT hauler. I think we can just deploy. No good to be dead. We can just claim now. We can clear out the TIE Phantom. And then we can loot for the AT hauler. He's got no cards left, so I think we're in a fairly decent position here. I don't think we need Obi-Wan at all. We can use Yoda for the heal and play at the same turn as Open Fire. We're going to run into the Phantom here and then hopefully Luke that AT hauler. Our Anakin is out of commission for another round. All right, that's perfect. We can hit that and we can play that out of his resource row. This one's not a bad deck. I don't think it's my playstyle. This one, it's good, but Ray with that extra restore, in theory this should be a lot better. But yeah, maybe I'll just play a lot of Ray along the way. Right, pass. Okay, we got another Luke, which is good. think we just resource the village protectors. I don't think he's going to have anything on the ground that can challenge us. All right, so he's now played at Iden. Let's call a 4 in case we like Jagger fell the dragon. Village protectors. So normally we would have called a 3 and we would have hit it. Let's have a look at our smuggle row, see what we've got. Nothing. So he's hitting for 7, but we're restoring for 3. So it's only a 4 difference. And we are hitting him for 13, 14, 15. Right, let's play that, and then let's end that one. All right, passed. All right, open fire. Not open fire. Daring raid, village protectors. Just keep both. This game's pretty much over at this stage. All right, Anakin just hits him for 9. And either way, even if he blocks the entire ground, we can daring raid for the last part. All right, we move to 3-2. Okay, so we have got a best of 3, which is what we're after. So let's play against a Von Ray green. So what can we expect here? Heavy space. You're going to need to try and compete in the space lane. We're going to need that and removal. All right, let's see if he's going to accept the challenge. Sometimes you hear you join him in the best of 3 and then they just pike out. Which might be the case here. You'll get like eventually just get like a disconnect message. So what haven't we really played? We haven't really played Steeler Guerrera too much. They've been kind of under pressure quite a bit. I think the R2s and the 3POs have been coming clutch. The occasional Cassian we've played. Plenty of Lukes, plenty of the Red Squadron X-Wings. This has got to be the best deck that you can put it in. I mean, it would be good in rows if you could heal without attacking. This guy's not playing. All right, so let's try the Tarkin Town. The Tarkin Town Tarkin. Imperial for life. Right, let's see. All right, so Imperial for life is going to go first. And Grand Moff Tarkin on Tarkin Town. We do not have a first turn play, and we do not have a removal for the second turn. So, listening to Thorrk's video, that's what he suggests. Okay, so we've got a regional governor and R2 village protectors. So, regional governor, don't really know what to expect. So I think we get rid of that. We get rid of the village protectors. All right, so we've got a bunker defender. We've already got an open fire. Let's put that one on the bottom. All right, so he's done that. So now we can just trade up with R2 and then play down a Yoda. Let's get rid of the open fire. It's our third open fire gone now. 1 in hand to either discarded attack. Put that on the bottom. Yeah, the 1-4 units are so good in this style of deck. With Anakin's ability, you can just always just trade up. All right, so let's play down a Yoda. He'll put an experience on it, and then we can just open fire it next turn. Or we could Yoda in the the ability. So he's going to kill Yoda. That's fine. We'll draw a card and then we'll just trade up with R2 into his unit. And then play down a Steeler Guerrera. So that's fine. Arc 170 I don't need. Right, let's trade into this Snow Trooper. I wonder if we'll get watching the latest trailer for Andor, and it had the play Stealer out, deal 2 damage. It had like a ranged trooper, so it was in the hangar as Andor was stealing the TIE fighter. Let's take a takedown. And like a ranged trooper had like a big sort of like bazooka cannon on it. So I wonder if we'll get that in Star Wars Unlimited eventually. All right, so we've got a bunker. So it gets +2 in Overwhelm. But we can run straight into the Bunker Defender, the Snow Trooper, because the Bunker Defender, you need to control your unit. Okay. So I think we just get rid of maybe the open fire here now. Got plenty of other removal. All right, let's trade here. Do 10 damage to base. And we'll take a Daring Raid. Good. We can use that to kill the Bunker Defender. Well, we could have. All right, let's take out the Bunker Defender. All right, and we just can't deploy. What am I doing? Do we force throw just to get rid of their last card? No, I don't think so. Well, let's use it next turn. All right. I don't need 3PO now. All right. Let's start with deploying Anakin. We are at 6/7. Let's play a force throw to get rid of his last card. Overwhelming Barrage would be nice. I called it again. Let's take that. The Bunker Defender loses Sentinel. All right, let's play Yoda out. Let's kill his Bunker Defender. We can hit Tarkin for 6 and we can just Daring Raid his Bunker Defender. All right, pass. All right, Village Protectors goes. We're now in a range where we can play Luke or Obi-Wan here. All right, we Anakin on Tarkin and Overwhelm for 5. All right. We can either play Obi-Wan here or Luke. I think Luke's fine. We're just building up some pressure now. Play Obi-Wan next turn and then play Covering the Wing on Obi-Wan. 3PO can be resourced. All right, I'm just going to put the deck list in the chat again. Where is it? Oops, just jump across there. All right, so we've got beers. I think we just go all base now. It's in the chat. Okay. All right, well, we have to take out that. Right, another 2 to base. And then we just play Obi-Wan and Covering the Wing on Obi-Wan. Daring Raid can get rid of. This one's nearly wrapped up. Another one. All right, well, we'll just run in with Obi-Wan. Anakin's power is slowly going down as all the restore sort of kicks in. Game. All right, we move to 4-2. Coming up on the hour mark, so let's play one more. Best of 3. Let's do this Kazuda blue. Let's see if he wants to play a best of 3. We can potentially use our sideboard for once. Not as much sideboard in for Kazuda. It's all in the main deck. Targeted to aggro and mid range in the main board. All right, so we've got regional governor. So what are we going to call? Would you like to mulligan? No. Stolen AT hauler. That seems like a reasonable one to call. Question is what we resource here. We've got Fell. I think that has to go. We'll keep at least keep the takedown. And then it's do we keep the Red Squadron X-Wing or the open fire? I think we keep the X-Wing because it can trade up. So, right. So the governor will call out the stolen AT hauler. All right, bamboozle. What? There's no units on play. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's part of the Fallen Order. I don't know what that was. Stolen AT hauler. All right, I have no idea what he's doing. Pass. All right, we've got to keep challenging in space. Does that mean we keep the restored arc here? Maybe. A contracted hunter. Right, means whatever plays in space, we can pretty much run into. All right. Okay, we'll get rid of the crate dragon here. Kazuda will come out this turn. Who knows whether he's going to come ground or space. He has no chips at the moment. All right, let's play a 3PO on the ground. Covering the wing. We can play the restored arc up there. If he puts anything in space, we'll get the X-Wing. Trade up on it. All right, what do we got? Yep, that's fine. Put another arc out. Right, we will flame. Gonna jump out there. Actually put the shield on it. Now it comes down to which one we want to stop. Do we want to stop Contractor Hunter, or do we want to stop Kazuda? I think we'll definitely want to stop the Kazuda. So we're gonna do 2 damage. The arc will hit in for 4, and then we can play takedown once it's in range. All right. Covering the wing. It's decent as well. No, I don't think we need Stealer. All right, let's trade up here and then take down. All right. Attack. Right, hit for 4. Okay. We can... You did that in the complete wrong order, because now if I kill Kazuda, this is going to die at the end of the turn because he didn't attack with it. So that was always the danger. If I could remove the Kazuda, this Contracted Hunter goes because it wasn't able to turn off its ability. Okay, Yularen. All right, I don't know what he's going to call. So Yularen, you can call Grit Restore 1, Sentinel, or Shielded. Shielded only applies to units that are played after Yularen, and it only applies to vehicles. All right, so he's picked Restore 1. He has no vehicles. But yeah, this Contracted Hunter should go at the end of the turn, which it does. All right, we probably won't need Redemption. Or Covering the Wing we can get rid of now. So let's draw a card first with our X-Wing. Might get a Force Throw or something. We've got an Andor. All right, yeah, so I think this is a decent deck. Just depends if it meets your playstyle. So he's undid again. All right, let's draw. I don't know why he keeps undoing. Maybe he didn't resource. If that happens, then just reset the turn. All right, let's deploy Anakin out. See what he's got. Keep pretty much control here by just defeating Yularen and maintaining the ground here. Yeah, like I this is the problem why I don't like playing these like pilot decks and that. You get behind and it's like, well, the game's over. Like there's no coming back unless you've got them on a reasonable amount of health. And in theory, this security complex, give a shield token. But as you saw with us, we just played a takedown when it was in range. So it really did. He hasn't even used it yet. So I would recommend not using this base if you were going down the Kazuda path, blue. All right, so it's going to hit us. Let's just hit in the base, start putting some pressure on. Unfortunately, once Anakin's out, you lose that trade up ability. All right, so we're going to get hit by Luke. So we can just Luke back and then run Yoda in while Luke's a 0-1. We don't lose our Yoda. And that was a good play by him. He was able to put the shield on. So we'll take that shield off and hit in to remove it. All right. So I can actually trade in with Luke against Luke. Thanks to Anakin's ability here. I've also got the redemption. All right. Just going to hit in a base, I assume. Or he's going to take out Yoda. All right. We can just take down this one. Or we could trade up. Let's trade up with Yoda. I'll take a card. Picked up another Luke. All right, let's hit the base for 6. Another 3. Now let's heal all that off. Pass. All right. Restored arc can go. He's only 25 health base, so 2 of these hits, a couple of these hits will be enough. Yeah, as I say, I don't see how you come back from this type of performance. Let's just take down that Falcon. He might have pilots and that in there. We don't want to go down that path. So we've got 9 in space at the moment, which is enough to finish him. All right, base for 6. To do something about the Red Squadron X-Wing, or that will be the end of it. All right, okay, so that's the end of it there. Change that to 5-2 the score. This is a best of 3, so now we get the sideboard. Is there anything in sideboard that makes this match easier? I think I maybe like a pillage over like the village protectors probably do not much. Maybe a pillage and attack. Yeah, not much else otherwise. All right. As I say, the deck is pretty much like pre-boarded for aggro and mid-range. And then the sideboard is really just set up for that sort of control slogger game style where you're, but as a red-blue hero, your best option is to bleed the person's hand. And then just, once you've got rid of all the cards, just drop like a big crate dragon. The Ray list had like 2 crate dragons and 2 profundities. I think that's too much. I think you just want just 2, 1 or 2 at the top in the main board. You can have more in the side. So this one's got 2 crates in the side. I'm still waiting for this guy. All right, so if you're playing in a PQ, what are you planning on bringing? I don't think this guy's coming back. Let's go back, find another match. Let's go against a fast one. Layer yellow. Would you like to mulligan? Yes, we have no first turn play and no removal. So I think we just keep. We get 2, 3, 4. I think we still need Stealer. We go 3PO. Hopefully he doesn't hit us with space to start with, because we have nothing in that arena. One thing we've been discussing is, does the game engine for Star Wars Unlimited could it be adapted to other IPs? So for example, it could be adapted to 40k. You'd have 40k leader, and you could have different arenas. Even things like Game of Thrones, you could have one which is a ground arena, but you could also have the what do I take? Luke out. I think it's going to be a really fast game. You could have ground arena, and then you could have in the other side like a political arena. To me, that sounds pretty cool. All right, let's play Yoda out. If he has a Chewbacca here, it's a little bit of trouble. Maybe we should have just kept the Luke, so we could have at least thrown the Luke at it. He does not. All right, let's hit base. We'll call 3 again. Red Squadron X-Wing. All right, let's just climb. All right. We're at the 4th mark. I don't think we need Steeler. Well, let's go from here. We have 2 force rows. We'll play the first one, try and knock out this A-wing. All right, what are we going to get? All right, a 1. Put that on here. Let's go again with the force row. It's a 2, so let's get rid of the A-wing completely. All right, let's hit his base for 3. For 1 and call 3. Right, blue leader, again, it's just on top, so we're okay with that. All right, pass. Well, I wish we kind of had some space sentinels here. With the village protectors, we can play village protectors in the governor if we need to, or we can play red squadron. Let's see, we kind of want to protect the ground until Anakin can come out. All right, let's trade up. Open fire is good. We can take out one of these ships that he does not use. Let's take out the blue leader. All right, let's play the governor. Attack the governor. We can say rebel assault. No, he's got one of them. See where he attacks here. Yep, kill Yoda. We'll draw a card. All right, claim. All right. Let's deploy. All right. I was going to say, what happened to the Falcon? I looked away for a sec and it was gone. All right, so just play Village Protectors here. Try and limit the amount of damage that's going to come through. We've now got Anakin that can come out and deal with Leia. Comes out as 7/7. All right, let's hit into Leia. Go over the top for 5. All right, let's put another Yoda on the ground then. All right, pass. Just thinking, looking at my leaders, I'm like, what's happened to my leader? I can't see him, but he's right there in Anakin. I'm used to looking for Yoda, Rey, one of those type characters. He's going to hit us for another 7, which is worrying. All right, he's going to bamboozle Anakin, I assume. Yeah. All right, what can we do? We've got Cassian in the row. Let's just hit for 2. Draw. It's like a one-off from killing me with the Falcon. Have to draw again. Redemption's good. Let's see if we can last this turn. So you can get to 34 with what's on board. Get rid of the restored arc. All right, that's good for us. But he didn't attack straight away. We can play the redemption. All right, that looks a bit healthier now. Let's get into layer. Just trying to keep the board relatively clean. I think we have to hit into the dreaded location there. All right, there we go. All right, pass. All right, we've got another Luke. Rivals for, I don't think we resource anything here. And hopefully we can just run our units in, and then that will be GG. All right, where are we up to? Okay, pass. Don't need to resource anything. We've got plenty of stuff to deal with. Anything that he's going to play. Let's hit him with Anakin. And we'll finish up with a record of 6-2. We lost to, the only losses were against Cad Bane. Here is the list here. It'll be down in the chat and down in the comment section. And then check out Thorrk's channel as well. Have a link to that. And anyway, I'll see you next time. If you've got any requests for types of decks you want me to play, just drop it into one of the movies as videos as a comment. I'll check it out. Well, so we played French Colossus the other day. That was a big success. So any off-meta decks you would like me to play and try and build, send them my way.